Welcome to the Workshop Therapy Podcast, 5-Minute Monday. Today's going to probably be a short one, but I think it's an important lesson to learn. So the title of the podcast, as you've already seen, is How to Get Better. So there's this common misconception about the whole 10,000 hours to mastery thing. When it comes to 10,000 hours to mastery, we often assume that an athlete has played their sport for 10,000 hours to get to the point of mastery. In actual fact, they spend a great amount of time doing something related to their sport, but not directly playing their sport. When we see them performing, they're in what's called a performance zone. What they're doing is they're focusing on not making mistakes, minimizing the problems that they might have. They are in effect avoiding things that are challenging to them, and only doing the things that they know they have mastery of. After their match, it's a different story. That's when they analyze what they did. That's when they work on specific movements or actions that they may have trouble with. Therefore, performance and learning are often two different environments. We often go through life stuck in a performance zone. We are trying to avoid making mistakes. We're focusing on doing things that we know how to do. There's many reasons why we do this. We don't want to look like idiots. We don't want to look like fools. We don't want to make mistakes. That's totally natural. But the problem is, when you're in this performance mindset, it's very fixed because you're avoiding things that are challenging. Therefore, you're avoiding the things that will give you growth potential. So if you're feeling stuck or you feel like you're not progressing in your goals, whether that's a creative goal or a physical goal or a relationship goal, then maybe you're stuck in that performance zone. Maybe you're focusing on doing the things that you know how to do so you can avoid mistakes versus trying those new things that open up growth potential for you. Remember back a little ways when we talked about creativity. Creativity isn't necessarily a spark of unique genius that nobody's ever thought of before. Creativity is often a combination of combining old knowledge in new, unique ways. That's why there's that phrase, this is built on the shoulders of giants. Very, very rarely does one person come along and have this stroke of revolutionary genius that changes everything. What happens is they learn a large amount of other knowledge and then they apply that to a unique problem or to a new problem and they recombine it in a new way and come up with a new solution. So if you want to not be stuck in that performance zone, if you want to be out of that I'm stuck doing the same thing over and over, get out into your shop, do something that you know you have a hard time with. Do something that you know you're going to make a mistake at. Go out, try a new skill. If you're a woodworker, try pottery. If you're a metalworker, try painting. Or if you want to try something in the skill set you're trying to develop, do something you haven't done yet. You don't get better by avoiding risks. You get better by making mistakes and by learning from them. Thanks for listening. If you want to support this show, I'd appreciate it. Patreon's a great way to do so. But what really helps is if you share the show. Make a post in your social media of choice and tag me in it. Let me know if this was helpful to you. Let me know if you want to hear something else. And if you have any questions, feel free to send them to questions@workshoptherapypodcast.com. And if you send them in a voice memo or a voice recording of some sort, I'll get them into the show. Just want to say a quick thank you to all the patrons. The OG founding father, Mr. Matthew from Argiano Serio. Go give him some love. Say thank you for his support. And let him know that he's a great guy. Many of you know him, and he's always a great supporter of the community. Also, thank you to Brad of Brad's Customs, Mr. Keith Drennan of Blackthorn Concepts, Brandon Millichamp of Tectonic Creations, the Grant Alexander, not the Great Alexander. That joke will make more sense next episode, but the Grant Alexander, Caroline Jeanette Racine, Overall Makerworks Waffle Beaver, Ed of butchhunts.com, Miguel Angel Viela. And if I'm not saying that right, let me know, Miguel. I would appreciate it. So with that, please share the show. If you haven't left a rating and a review, go ahead and do that too. Apparently that helps. I don't know, but any sort of interaction is great. Also, I don't know if you're aware of this. Those of you who listen on Spotify, there is a little poll at the end of it. And those of you who aren't on Spotify, if you go to Spotify, there's a little poll sometimes.